Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a recipe video. This is going to be pork carnitas, and for this you're going to need a pork loin, and the recipe says 3 pounds, but this one that I got is actually 4.5 pounds, a little bit over 4.5, but I'm going to go ahead and still use it. And then if I have leftovers, I can always, you know, use them for something else. So you're also going to need a bay leaf. And then for the spices, you're going to need some chili powder, some ground cumin, garlic powder, sea salt, oregano. You're probably going to need some ground oregano, but I don't have any ground oregano, so I just use the whole. And the recipe also calls for some ground coriander, but I don't have that, so I'm not adding it. It also calls for some cloves and onion powder, which I do not have, so I'm not adding it. Instead of those ingredients, since I don't have them, I'm gonna just add like 2 teaspoons of this Mrs. Dash original blend. Yeah, let's get started. In a bowl, you want to go ahead and add your spices and mix them up. Okay, so we have our pork tenderloin here, and what we're going to do is we're going to rub the spices onto it really good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and place these into the slow cooker. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place it in the slow cooker. And I think I'm just going to add 1, just because I think this is probably going to be, like if I add 2, it's going to be too much for my family. So I'm just going to go ahead and add 1, and then I'm going to freeze the other one that I've already seasoned, and then just make it for, like, you know, another day. You're going to add 1.5 cups of water. And 1 bay leaf, and then go ahead and cover it. We're gonna cook this on low for about 6 to 8 hours, keeping an eye on it to make sure that the water doesn't get absorbed and dries out. So if you do see that, then go ahead and add more liquid. But like I said, we're gonna just keep an eye on it, and I'm gonna come back in a couple hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my cilantro lime topping while my pork is cooking. For this, you're going to need some Greek yogurt. It doesn't say the amount that you're going to need. I guess you're just going to kind of like eyeball it. I don't know, we'll see. And you're also going to need 1/4 cup of cilantro, and you're also going to need 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lime juice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and mix it all together. I'm also going to go ahead and cook my beans. I'm actually making my beans from a bag. The recipe does say to use a can of black or pinto beans, but I don't really like using canned beans. So I'm going to go ahead and just cook my own, but you can most certainly, you know, just go ahead and add in a can of beans if that's what you want. Okay, so my beans are already cooked, and I'm gonna go ahead and just drain some of that water because it is way too much water. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and just mash them. Okay, so you can basically just mash them until you get the consistency that you want for your beans. I know I probably should take off some of that water, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it like that. And I think my beans are all set. Okay, so it's been about 4 hours and I just checked on my pork loin and it looks like it's done. Once you pick at it, it like easily shreds apart. So I think it's pretty much done. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just shred this completely. I'll take it out and then I'm gonna go ahead and shred it and then put it back in. So I poured everything back in here and then I'm just going to mix this to make sure that all the pork is incorporated into the juices. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making my tortillas. So what you're gonna need is to line up a baking sheet with some foil, and then the tortillas that I'm gonna use are going to be these. They're from Mission yellow corn tortillas, extra thin, gluten-free. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my first tortilla. You wanna lightly spray it with some cooking spray. And I'm using this 100% extra virgin olive oil spray. So just lightly spray it once on both sides and then just set it on your baking sheet. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that for the 6 tortillas. Okay, now we're going to pop these into the oven at 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're nice and crispy. Okay, so I went ahead and cut up some romaine lettuce, some tomatoes, and then I sliced up some avocados. And I have my topping on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm going to assemble one of these carnitas. So first I'm gonna grab one of my tortillas, place it on my plate, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place some of my beans on it and just spread them around. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and grab some of my pork and just place it on top. Just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put some of my toppings on there. So I'm gonna put some romaine lettuce. I'm not gonna put too much because this is actually gonna be for one of the boys. And then some tomatoes. Probably an avocado on the side. Pop some cheese on it. And then just a dollop of your cilantro lime topping. So there you have it. It's absolutely easy to make. It doesn't take much effort and it looks absolutely delicious. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and stay tuned. I will show you next how I would assemble my pork carnitas for the 21-day fix program.